Morning, welcome back to Alan's Allotment. Sorry it's been a while, although you may have seen a couple of videos before this one came up. I've just been really busy with all sorts at home. Nothing to worry about, basically just I've been more into IT things at home and learning new skill sets on basically flashing Android tablets and phones. But it was something that I needed to crack and I wanted to get it sorted out. Anyways, today we're up at the allotment. It's Saturday. Oh, let's have a look. It's Saturday. No, it's not. Yeah, it's Saturday, March the 25th. It's getting on now, guys. So today I've got the kettle on. I've just arrived at the allotment. It's 9:30. What I'm going to do today is to get some more potatoes. You know, I planted some way back in February. I haven't even looked at them to see if they've came up or anything at all. And you may or may not have seen that video how I made that protection cage for them. I'm going to go and have a look at them today and see if they've actually started to germinate or whether they're ready to harvest. That's a bit of wishful thinking. I know it's not going to be the latter. But no, we're just going to get some potatoes in today. We're going to get some seedlings potted on into bigger pots. Still a bit miserable to put stuff out yet, and there's still chance of frosts, but I'm going to start potting things up. If you haven't already seen the modification we've done to the shed where I'm going to be keeping all my citrus trees, where we've now got grow lights in there, we've got we'll have heated propagators in there, and all run from a solar panel and a battery. So if you haven't seen those videos, then pop back and take a look at how we actually done that. Right, let's give you a little look around. So you can see we've got the patio area cleared now. I've just moved those bags up to the back, so I've got even more of a path to get through here. I'm just starting to tidy up, and all these citrus trees that look like they're dead, I've just put them outside to take the chances now. I'm not going to fight anymore, and I want the space back in the greenhouse, so I've just put everything outside. If they come back, they come back. If they don't, they don't. So I've just been busy cleaning out the greenhouse, having a good old tidy up in here, getting rid of all the old dead plants, things I didn't want, etc, etc. So these are the cabbages and onions. I've just give this bed a really good soak down now, out of the rain barrel with a little Bosch battery pump on hooked to a hose. This is the first watering these plants have had since I planted them December, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was December. I know the garlic was a bit later, but the cabbages and the cauliflowers went in a bit sooner. And what I've been basically doing is taking all the bottom leaves off these as they're coming, and I've been giving them to the chickens because they've got absolutely no greenery whatsoever left in their pen. It's just a quagmire over there. And this happens every single year, but the grass does recover miraculously somehow, I don't know. And now you can see this peach tree, beautiful red bonfire peach tree, full of bloom. Now, potentially every one of those flowers is a peach. However, there is no way this little tree can sustain all of those. And if they do all develop into peaches, then we will need a lot of thinning out on this. So I've brought down the exhibition onions and we've put them in the polytunnel now. They should be fine now in here. A couple of little spring onions still starting to come, so we'll leave those. I've planted all the other red spring onions. Got two little lettuces there. Let them get a little bit bigger before we plant them. And then I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 cauliflowers. And then I had a few of those little runners that weren't quite dead, off the strawberries of the Frisian F1s. So I've planted them. If they come, they come. If they don't, they're in the compost bin. We don't care. We just put them in, give them a chance, and if they come, then happy days. So I'm just going to crack on what my next job I'm intending to do is to get some potatoes in these buckets. So I'm going to tip these into the wheelbarrow one at a time. So I've got an empty bucket to start with. We'll mix the compost there. We'll add fish blood and bone to it. Then we'll get the first one done, then the next one, and so on and so forth. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Get a few potatoes in now in buckets, some earlies, All set up. All I'm going to do is I've just tipped one of these buckets in here with this dry compost. We're going to mix it all up together. We're going to reuse it, and then I'm just going to add some good old fish blood and bone. I've actually got a 4-stone bag of this. It works out cheaper, but I had these 2 boxes in the dry area, so I'm going to use these up now. The brand new boxes, I might as well use these up first, but as I say, I have a 4-stone bag in old money up there. So all I'm going to do is basically just tip this out. It's full of worms. It's just last year's compost. It's had potatoes grew in it once, and that's all. I'm just mixing all of this dry compost in with it as well, and then we're just going to add some fish blood and bone to it, and then we're going to set the potatoes. Right, I've just been over for the potatoes. I only have the 1 bag of earlies for some unbeknown reason, but there we go. So, first earlies, Pentland Javelin. Now, I planted these last year. Let me get in the camera shot. I planted these last year, and they had the potential to be really good, but the beds hadn't been prepared properly last year. I'd had 2 years growing in them, and I hadn't made any amendments or anything. Big mistake. This year, they're all dressed, they're all done, well in advance. And I'm adding fish blood and bone to this to potentially get a good harvest of these Pentland Javelin. They were decent size in spite of. So, yeah. So basically I've mixed all this compost together now. Got my empty bucket. I put a bit in here. I know people know how to do this, but I'm just showing you what I'm putting in and when, basically. Couple of handfuls of compost in here, and because they're earlies, they only grow on a level. They don't grow down like main crops. So basically we put 2 at one level and then fill it up a bit, and 2 at a higher level, fill it up, so you get basically in effect you get 2 layers of potatoes. That's the theory. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll crack on, because I've got one, this will be 1 down and lots more to go. I'll catch you later. Right, 1 bad back and an hour later. We've got all the potato pots cleared from here. Get some more cardboard on that to keep that at bay. I've actually got a couple of little black cutting bushes I'm going to put in along this side as well. That's the next job. Right, into here now. I've opened the back window again to let some air in. It's absolutely boiling in here. As you can see, these peaches are all in bloom as well, and nectarines. I've also opened that so the bees and anything that wants to can come in and pollinate these as well. They are self-pollinating, and they do a good job on their own. And this is a red bonfire peach. This is still getting itself established. I only got it last year, and I think it put 3 peaches on, little wee peaches, and I just left it. But it looks like it's only going to have 3 or 4 this year as well. And if they produce a peach, well, happy days. Right, so now you'll see I've got all the potatoes planted up, and I'm doing an experiment I haven't seen anyone do. I'm not saying they haven't done it, but I haven't seen anyone do it. So in here I've got 1 seed potato, just 1, and just 1 in here. In this one I've got 2 and 2, 4 and 2 in that one, 4, 4. So we've got 2 with 1 in, 3 with 2 in, and 3 with 4 in. And I just want to see what the differences are, and more importantly what sort of harvest we get out of these ones with just the 1 in. Now this soil was sopping wet because it had been out all year, just outside there, getting all weathers, and it was a just big solid lump of watery compost. So I've broke it up and loosened it and aerated it, added the fish blood and bone, but I have not watered these in because the compost wet enough, but it's not sopping now. So we're just going to leave these. Once they start to grow, we'll then keep an eye on the watering. Right, another job jobbed. So I've got the 2 little black cuttings in there, little black cutting bushes. Drove some stakes in for later when they start to climb. and label them up with the paint markers, and hopefully they'll fare okay outside as long as they dry before the rain comes. Again, unbelievable, we're actually seeing some sunshine up here for a change, and I can see the raspberries are now starting to leaf out. Time for some gardening. That's all I've done today is gardening. So this is a nice change. In the polytunnel, clear this bench down now. As I say, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trays ready filled with my own mix of compost basically. And what's in here is cocoa coir, cow manure, seaweed compost and some perlite. This is what I made up for to plant the citrus trees into, and I had a good 3/4 of a bag left, like a 25 kilo sack. So what I've done is I've filled these up. I haven't compressed them hard. I've literally just put some in, press that down like that, and that like that. I'm going to sow some seeds, and as you can see, I've got a massive variety here. I don't know what I'm putting in, probably a bit of everything, because you know me, I plant it, if it grows, if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I've got some new varieties that I want to try this year as well. I've got some red cabbage I've never grew before. I've got different varieties of peas. So I've now got 3 full trays of sugar snap delicate, they call it, that particular variety. But I'll all be over sowing this year. My brother will use what I don't. So it doesn't matter if I do a glut this year. So I've got a good old mixture of everything here, and we're just going to get on and get some of these sown. But I wanted to show you this. So I ordered some seeds off Amazon, and I'd seen these on Amazon, and they're actually a dwarf red salad tomato. I ordered them, and they came from France in a lovely little envelope. Now I can show you this because there's no address on this envelope, and they came from France with a little note inside as well. Just a few little seeds, and a lovely little how to grow tomatoes. What a nice little touch that was. Totally wasn't expecting this. And yeah, so I'm going to actually just plant them all. Right, I think I've done more than enough for today. I had a good productive day today. All this cleaned out, weeded, washed, watered, etc. And loads of seeds put in, ready to go. What comes up, what doesn't. I'm not particularly worried about it. These 2 trays still don't have anything in, nor does this one. In fact, I'm going to take those ones out, and then I don't wonder why nothing's came up. And what I've basically done is I've planted a bit of everything. And what I did on top of the seeds, I just put a thin layer of cocoa coir, just straight cocoa coir, to soak up, and hopefully to try and stop some of the mould settling on the top as well. So we've got peas, sugar snap, delicate. We've got 1, 2, 3 trays of those, and then we've got cucumber, market more, California wonder peppers, dwarf salad tomatoes in there. And here we've got dwarf pea meteor, the whole tray, pea, dwarf, Kelvin and Wonder, beetroot, Bolt Hardy, Then we've got Swede, Marion, Gory Swede, or Gowrie, broccoli, some Bolie F1, purple cauliflower, Pepper Hot Roxy Dwarf, Cabbage Primo 2, Cabbage Mini Cole F1 and Red Drumhead Cabbage. And of course we've got some cauliflowers over there as well, a couple of lettuces, all our onions, well, all the exhibition onions. That's the point, I need to get some more spring onions in, so they could go in these, I suppose. Yeah, I'll probably get some more spring onions, reds and whites, and get them popped in there. Right, that was a productive day. It's now 5 PM in the evening. Well, it's took me quite a while, but I've got a lot of seeds sown now, and I can relax a little bit because at least they're in the end of March. Clocks go forward tonight. Yep, clocks go forward tonight, I think it is. And of course, again, an extra hour's daylight in the evenings. So I wanted to get them seeds in and set now. I've also got, I think it was 6 or 7 buckets of potatoes done, 2 with 1 in, 3 with 2, 6, 8 buckets of potatoes already started now as well. Go and have my last cup of coffee and then I'm going down home. As always, wherever you are in the world, please stay safe, be practical and keep yourselves out of harm's way. Thanks for all your likes, dislikes, subscriptions, comments, suggestions, donations. It's all very much appreciated, guys. Until next time, I'll see you again. Please stay safe.